What made the popular kid at school the unpopular kid? He thought it would be cool to bring a loaded BB gun to school and got the cops called on him by another student. My partner likes to tell the story of how she became the unpopular kid at school. She was about 6/7. So primary 2 here in the UK. And a trend kicked off in her class of eating dog biscuits. All the kids were stealing dog biscuits from home and eating them at break time. Unfortunately, she didn't have a dog and just had to eat normal human biscuits at school. She was ostracized every break time for it. Peer pressure is weird sometimes. One of the kids at our school lived with his grandma cause his parents died. PP Head and a group of his mates started harassing the old lady whenever she came to pick him up. Principal was reported this and they ended up getting expelled altogether. He recorded himself shoving carrots, cucumbers, and a bottle of hot sauce up his ass in the back of a van. Then someone found the video and shared it with the whole school. His girlfriend dumped him and moved away to private school, so he started sending videos of him jacking off to the other popular girls in school. When school started, she was so popular she could hang out with anyone in any kind of friend group. She was that beautiful, social, athletic blonde girl. Then, she began hanging out with me, the 16 years old handicapped girl walking slowly with a wooden cane like an old woman. She instantly got unpopular, but still decided to stick around. And we made our own group of friends. 10 years later, she's a popular jeweler in my old town. And still as beautiful, funny and kind as ever. She made fun of a girl with cancer. Made a joke like, "Why don't you ask your mom to buy you a wig? I can see your scalp." And overnight, she was the least liked person in school. And 100% deserved it. He started calling a bunch of kids the N-word and his life just went downhill from there. A popular guy in my year pissed himself during an exam in our gym hall. Unfortunately for him, the biggest ass in our year was sitting directly behind him. He immediately stood up and yelled he pissed himself. He proceeded to get teary-eyed and say, "It's my energy drink." It spilled over and over before the exam supervisor literally dragged him out of the hall. 2 weeks later he returned to school the unpopular kid and kept a low profile for a while until it eventually died down and he climbed the social ranks once more. That is until an episode of The In-Betweeners, a popular TV show in the UK, aired in which one of the main characters poops himself in the exam hall and it reminded everyone of what happened, effectively nuking his popularity all over again. A guy at my school got drunk at a party, got naked and inserted his PP into a Jim Beam bottle and ran around all crazy like with it attached but not having to use his hands. At the time it was quite a laugh, but it wasn't until a day or so later people thought about how small the opening was to a Jim Beam bottle. That was basically the end of him. She stopped handing out free Skittles. Rip Skittle girl's reputation. Having a set of keys given to him by the school. WTF. I know, because he was one of the really popular kids. Then using those keys to break into the school and steal $30 cord of woodworking metalworking tools. There was one kid in my class who was the son of our maths teacher. He was crazy popular because he was able to help everyone out with their homework for that class. Turns out he was actually snooping through his dad's notes to get the answers. The teacher naturally got super suspicious after a while. So he deliberately made a fake answer sheet. Of course, the kid grabbed it and noted it all down. It was full of wrong answers, so blatant that anyone who even slightly paid attention in class would know they were way off base. The kid handed out the answers anyway, and in an instant made about half the class bomb. And his popularity dropped like a rock as they all accused him of deliberately making them fail. They moved him to another class and they never had an incident of cheating again. When everyone found out he was jerking off to science teacher, in the class, along with his friends. This was 8th grade. Crystal meth. His parents gave him money and bought him all this new expensive stuff, and he rubbed it in everyone's faces and everyone kind of got sick of him. He shared his pee-pee pic. It was reportedly really small. He got teased so much he had to move away. He accidentally stabbed and blinded, in one eye, the nicest kid in the school by throwing a stick at him. The kid that was blinded grew up to be super successful and is now married, with a baby on the way. He didn't get a Sega Dreamcast, but I did, so I became the popular kid. Guy wasn't necessarily the popular kid, but it wasn't a big school so everyone knew everyone. I think between 9th and 10th grade he was found alone in his car behind the local arcade beating off. He was called Thumper from that day forward. No idea what happened after graduation, but he has to have some bad memories of those years. Started straight up lying to teachers to get people in trouble. Don't know how he thought that was gonna work out. Edit, spelling. The kid had cancer. Was super cool while he was doing chemo. Cancer went into remission and he became a total douche. He pooped his pants when he was caught taking upskirt photos of girls in school and sending them to his friends. His popularity went from hero to zero in a split second. A girl in my school fingered herself with Kit Kat in the dining hall and then ate it. This guy at my table would play the "no one likes me, I'm the center of attention now" card. As in he would fake sadness for attention, redirecting conversation and drawing the energy from a room. Like the kid who won't be friends with you anymore because you wore the same color shirt. He was quite wealthy too and would rub it in your face. He fricked his friend's mom at a party. Let's call popular kid A and his friend B. B's mom was arrested, as she should have been, and B faced torment from basically everyone that knew what happened. Kid A continued to brag about his actions. Eventually people gained sympathy for B and Kid A lost his popularity real fast. People found out he was killing animals in super fricked up ways. Held a dog underwater until it drowned. Ran over a cat with a lawnmower. Used baseball bats and machetes. Dude was doing some serial killer level stuff. Now he's in the army. Oh boy, do I feel protected. He teased my best friend for being built like a Mack truck. She picked him up and put him upside down in the garbage can. He lost any coolness he had. Edit, typo. He apparently fricked his dog. Even if it didn't happen, this pretty much fricked his social standing. Trading a Charizard card for a Rattata. Threw a hockey stick, hollow-ended, into the special needs kid's eye socket. He claimed it was accidentally only, but was caught bragging about it on his Snapchat story. He then said, his words not mine, he doesn't have any hope though. So what does it matter? The kid needed surgery that his parents had to pay for, as it was cosmetic. The kid moved to a cheaper schools a week later. He Tindered next to his girlfriend, who everyone liked. Told everyone how he would dump her etc. They screamed racist insults and yelled at everyone for doing the tiniest, littlest things that aren't annoying. He didn't exactly become unpopular, but my high school star quarterback recorded a video of himself fingering his butt and he sent it to a girl in a neighboring school district. The video got passed around there and made its way back into our school and he got socially vibe checked. But he didn't really lose his popularity. It was just sort of lessened and he actually became a way better person after the fact. He still never learned that you can throw bullets when playing indoor football in gym class against non-football players though. There was an Asian girl who was well liked by everyone. Smart. Happy to help anyone struggling in class and was generally a nice person, but her uncle scammed out people in her community, including parents of kids that went to our school. She went from being well liked to being bullied, still she dropped out of school. Not exactly popular, more like the king of the arseholes. But he had a project in mind. Bully the newcomer to get some fresh fame for his bad apostles. The target, a Greek exchange student. Nice guy but quite a beefy boy. 150 plus kilos. And a wrestler. I watched, no freaking way I was getting in the middle of a bitch slap tornado, and my regret as of today is the lack of camera smartphones back then. Bully cunt got his jaw broken, and lost 5 frontal teeth. Dislocated shoulder and 3 fractured ribs. Legally speaking, he only defended himself and also played his defense on his weight. Blaming the bully of making him lose his balance and by doing so, fell on him, it's not entirely false. Dart. Bully cunt got back 2 months later. Still suffering from his injuries. Shunned by his previous peers. Stayed about 2 weeks and then never came back. When being fast wasn't good enough anymore, he tried to coerce his then girlfriend, both of them were 14 at the time, to have sex. When that didn't work and the girl told everyone he played the victim and threatened to kill himself. Which of course he didn't. He punched the autistic kid then proceeded to get jumped by every single guy that saw him in school for the next week until his parents had him switch schools. Apparently he fricked his cat. And that's how Rocky got the nickname Sparkles for the rest of his junior and senior year. There was a girl who was really popular and then she got pregnant and had an abortion and one of her poopty friends told other people and then everyone called her a slut and started rumors like saying she got the abortion because the dad could have been one of 10 different guys. It was awful. High school bullying in the 2000s was a mess. I stood up for the teacher with, at the time, terminal cancer when everyone was teasing bullying her. Cancer made her a bit more positive. Live life to fullest. Why? And she was pretty childish, actually great for elementary school children, but my class was 1 degree away from feral at the time. I was no longer popular. She was super nice and by some miracle beat the cancer. Got really into astrology. Gemini. Virgo. Cancer. Kept on hitting, assaulting people with a metal bottle. And was in general just an ass that only like 7 people tolerated. I follow her on Instagram and all her stories are memes about astrology. It's the Instagram equivalent of Facebook minion memes. When she made fun of me in front of everyone for wearing a yellow shirt to school. It was just a plain yellow shirt and she somehow found a way to mock the color. It was so unnecessary. And made her look like someone who was just rude for no reason. Everyone quickly realized that she thought people were automatically on her side cause she was somewhat rich. And she just became a joke after that. Everyone else graduated. Edit. Thanks for the gold award. This was clearly enjoyed more than I anticipated. I went to an all-girls school and there was an all-boys school about 5 minutes walk away. When I was in my final year, the school vice captain of the boys school was dating one of our grade leaders. Both being 17 and not very smart, she eventually got pregnant. She dropped out. And pretty much everyone who knew him at our school hated him. Prior to that, he was very well liked. I thought it was a bit ridiculous, honestly. Pretty sure it takes 2 to tango. He threw a watermelon at a black kid's house. He wasn't really popular, but he took and up skirt of a girl sitting behind him and tried showing it to people. A mum got into an argument with a parish priest and forced her daughter to lie to the police about him molesting her when she was an altar girl. All over some memorial that the mother didn't agree with. The plan worked since the local archdiocese was forced to transfer him to another parish. But it was quickly proven the girl was being forced to lie by the police. The girl's reputation didn't take that much of a hit during school. But her mum became a social pariah across multiple parishes since the priest was a patron to the local high school and a lot of people respected him. The girl was seriously screwed. However, her parents wanted her to become a solicitor or barrister and I think they made her take law in A-level. But since the mum made her lie to the police, she's a documented liar, which bars her from enrolling into a legal course in the UK. He sexually assaulted one of the most liked girls in the school. And after legal action took place, and he came back to school, Nobody spoke to him. Nobody acknowledged him. He played soccer. And so the school let him stay. For some freaking reason. If they wouldn't give him justice. We all decided to. Ourselves.
Hi there. Look, if you enjoyed the video, well, why not go ahead and hit that like and subscribe to Reddit Stories. In fact, if you want to see even more responses to this thread, well then, take a look. There's the link in the description below. And remember, show some love to those authors while you're there. And I look forward to seeing you next time.